Welcome back, everyone, to Whip Check. This is our series where we, really get under the hood of the latest and greatest cars.
And today, we've got something seriously special, a real monster.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about the brand new 2025 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, just unveiled.
The return of the king, you could say.
Yeah.
The ZR1 badge always means the absolute peak Corvette, and this one seems to blow previous ones out of the water.
Totally. It's positioned right at the top, the ultimate performance Corvette, and the headline figure, you just can't ignore it, over 1,000 horsepower.
1,000 in a rear-wheel drive American supercar. It's just wild.
It really is. So, we've been digging into the first look videos, from TheStraightPipes, Doug Demuro, Throttle House.
Yeah.
They all got their hands on it for the reveal.
Yeah, they've given us some great initial insights.
Exactly. So our mission today on Whip Check is basically to pull out all the coolest, most important bits from those first impressions. Give you the lowdown on this automotive beast.
Sounds good. Where do we start? The engine has to be it, right?
Absolutely. Let's jump right in. The numbers are just, staggering. 1,064 horsepower.
And 828 pound-feet of torque. Those aren't just manufacturer claims either.
No, the TheStraightPipes pointed out these are official SAE certified numbers. That's the real deal, independently verified.
Right, which is important. And that torque, 828 pound-feet, it's apparently available across a huge rev range, like 3,000 to 7,000 RPM. That means just relentless pulling power.
And it screams up to an 8,000 RPM red line. That's thanks to this new engine, the LT7. It's a twin-turbo 5.5-liter V8.
With a flat-plane crankshaft like the Z06's LT6, but different. Very different.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But 8,000 RPM from a twin-turbo V8 of that size, that's pretty special engineering.
It really is. And Throttle House put it into perspective, didn't they? Saying it's faster than icons like the McLaren P1, the Porsche 918, LaFerrari.
Even the original Bugatti Veyron.
Yeah. And more powerful than a Ferrari SF90, which, remember, has hybrid help. This ZR1 doesn't.
Right, and it even beats the Dodge Demon 170 on pump gas horsepower.
Which is crazy, because the Demon needs E85 to hit its peak numbers. This ZR1 does it on regular premium fuel. That's kind of amazing accessibility for that power level.
Well, accessibility might be relative when Doug Demuro's reporting 0-60 mile per hour in just 2.3 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, fair point. And a sub-10-second quarter mile.
Yeah. And a top speed, get this, 233 miles per hour.
Wow.
But Doug also made a really key point. Top speed wasn't really the main goal here.
Right. They were focused on track performance, lap times, making it handle.
Exactly. It sounds like the crazy top speed is almost just a side effect of optimizing everything else for the track.
Which makes sense for a ZR1. And think about this. Doug mentioned Chevy actually had to upgrade their own dynos just to measure the horsepower.
No way.
Yeah, that tells you just how much power they were dealing with, pushing the limits.
Okay, so let's talk more about that LT7 engine. You mentioned it shares the block with the Z06's LT6, but both Doug and Throttle House stressed, this is not just turbos slapped onto the LT6.
Not at all. Doug said the design brief was basically make as much reliable, street-legal power as physically possible.
Sounds like a fun brief.
Right. And that meant serious internal upgrades compared to even the Z06. Stronger transmission gears, beefed-up input shafts, everything needed to handle over 800 pound-feet of torque reliably.
And Throttle House noted they added secondary port fuel injection.
Uh-huh. That's needed to get enough fuel in there when you're cramming in so much air with the turbos. Direct injection alone often can't keep up at these power levels.
Makes sense. And the TheStraightPipes pointed out no cylinder deactivation, all 8 cylinders firing all the time. Pure performance focus.
Yeah, no compromises there. They also mentioned the intake manifold design is totally different from the Z06. It's simpler, more direct flow path because it's designed for forced induction, not trying to tune intake pulses like a naturally aspirated engine.
They even kept the engine banks separate, like 2 4-cylinders working together.
Right, for optimal turbo efficiency. And speaking of turbos, Throttle House had some mind-bending facts.
Oh yeah, lay 'em on us.
Okay, so the temperatures inside those turbos, apparently comparable to space shuttle reentry.
What? Seriously?
Seriously. And the tips of the turbo blades spinning at 1.7 times the speed of sound.
I can't even picture that. 1.7 Mach.
It's incredible engineering. The materials science alone must be insane. And despite all that high tech, TheStraightPipes confirmed, it's still just a conventional 12-volt system. No hybrid stuff.
Pure internal combustion fury. Amazing. Okay, so how does all that power get put down? Let's shift to aero and the design. That optional ZTK track package seems key.
Absolutely. All the reviews highlighted it. That's the max attack high downforce setup.
And the most obvious part is that wing. right?
Yeah.
Huge carbon fiber rear wing.
Massive.
Yeah.
Bigger than the Z06, Z07 wing, which was already pretty substantial. This thing means business. Generates serious downforce.
And up front, part of that ZTK package is a big carbon fiber splitter, too.
Yeah, managing airflow under the car, balancing out the rear wing. But one of the biggest changes is up front.
Ah, the frunk, or lack thereof.
Exactly. Doug and the straight pipes both showed it. The front trunk is gone.
Replaced by what? Just vents.
Pretty much. It's a big mesh area housing the heat exchangers, the intercoolers for the turbos. They needed maximum cooling airflow.
Wow. Sacrificing storage for cooling. That really tells you the priority, doesn't it?
Totally performance-driven. Doug also spotted dedicated rear brake cooling ducts on the side panels, another track-focused detail.
And the coupe gets that special side air intake, right, for the engine.
Yeah, that carbon fiber scoop behind the door. Doug and Throttle House pointed it out. It feeds clean, non-turbulent air directly to the engine intakes.
And Doug speculated the coupe might even make slightly more power at speed because of it, compared to the convertible.
It's plausible. Every little bit of aerodynamic efficiency counts at speed. And then there's that engine cover.
The split window, love that.
Yeah, it's a cool retro nod to the 63 Stingray, like Throttle House said. But it's functional, too. Doug showed the ventilation holes around it, helping get heat out.
Nice. What about wheels and brakes? I assume they're serious kit.
Oh, yeah. Optional carbon fiber wheels, saving like 43 pounds. Huge unsprung weight reduction.
Which helps handling and acceleration.
Definitely. Forged aluminum wheels are also an option, and the standard brakes are already bigger than the Z06s, revised for better heat management.
And carbon ceramics are available too, right?
Yep. Carbon ceramics, standard or optional, sources varied slightly, but they are definitely part of the package, especially with ZTK. Massive stopping power, fade resistance, essential for track work.
Throttle House also mentioned the side intakes themselves, the main ones, are shaped differently. More functional for the ZR1.
Right. That wishbone shape now has a clearer path for air going towards the engine. And they compared the hood vents, the flow-through design, to a Ferrari 488 Pista. High praise.
So visually, the front bumper and grille look pretty similar to the Z06.
Largely, yeah. But the ZTK package adds those canards or dive planes on the front corners.
Ah, those little winglets.
Exactly. And the straight pipes explain that little lip, the gurney flap or wicker on the front splitter. That helps create a pressure bubble to manage airflow over the car. It's all very integrated aero.
But the convertible misses out on some of that.
Yeah, no split window, obviously, and it doesn't get that extra side engine intake the coupe has. And the rear wing is apparently slightly smaller on the convertible, even with the ZTK.
Makes sense, different aero needs probably. Okay, let's peek inside. Any major changes in the cabin?
More subtle touches. ZR1 badges everywhere, of course. Door sills, steering wheel, little plaque.
Yeah, let people know what they're in.
Exactly. Functionally, there's a new digital boost gauge in the main display.
Oh, cool. So you can see what the turbos are doing.
Yep. The straight pipes saw it hitting around 20 psi peak boost, and Doug pointed out the Z-mode button is still there on the wheel for your custom performance settings.
And the steering wheel is still that squarish shape.
Yeah, the kind of hexagonal wheel, the climate control button row, the push-pull gear selector, that's all standard C8 stuff.
Familiar territory then. What about materials? Still feel premium.
Oh, yeah. Lots of leather, carbon fiber trim, Alcantara. The straight pipes and Throttle House mentioned special stitching too. It looks pretty high-end.
And the seats. Ready for the track?
Definitely. Doug showed them off. Heavy bolstering, integrated harness holes. They mean business.
Well, it's still got some creature comforts, right? Infotainment, Apple CarPlay.
Yep. All the usual Corvette infotainment features are there. Front lift system, camera mirror. It's not a stripped-out racer inside.
And the coupe still has the removable roof panel.
Still got the T-top, a
Right.
classic Corvette feature. Throttle House said the carbon fiber roof panel is standard on the ZR1 coupe.
Interesting detail from Throttle House about the standard suspension being a bit softer than the Z06.
Yeah, lower ride frequencies, they said. So maybe a touch more livable day-to-day if you don't get the ZTK package.
But the ZDK stiffens things right back up for the track.
Exactly. Stiffer springs with that package.
Okay, cool. Any other interesting little tidbits or fun facts that came out?
Well, Doug mentioned each engine is hand-built by one technician.
Like AMG does.
Exactly like that. And there's a signed plaque on the engine, plus apparently a little rocket ship graphic hidden on there somewhere as an Easter egg.
Huh. Love that. What else?
TheStraightPipes said yellow is kind of the hero color for the launch, but you can't get that specific heritage yellow from the E-Ray.
Okay.
They also reiterated the standard suspension softness compared to Z06. Oh, and you can still fit golf clubs in the back.
In a mid-engine, 1,000 HP supercar. That's actually pretty practical.
Relatively speaking, yeah. Just not in the front anymore because, intercoolers.
Right, right. And Throttle House confirmed it's not a limited production run.
Correct. They plan to build as many as people order, apparently, which is good news.
Definitely good news. What about Nürburgring times? Any word?
Not yet. The TheStraightPipes said testing is happening, but no official time released. Media drives are planned, though, so we should hear more performance details eventually.
And the big question. Price.
Still unknown. Nobody had the official number. Doug, the TheStraightPipes, Throttle House, all said. Chevy hasn't announced it yet. Lots of speculation, of course.
Yeah, I bet. Guesses
Yeah.
must be all over the place. And availability.
Sometime in 2025 is the target, according to Doug.
Okay, so wrapping this up. This 2025 Corvette ZR1. It's just an absolute monster, isn't it?
It really is. Pushing boundaries for American performance. That engine, the aero, the track focus, but somehow still seems like a usable Corvette. Sort of.
Sort of. Over 1,000 horsepower, 2.3 seconds to 60, 233 mile per hour top speed, all without hybrid help. It's just pure distilled internal combustion power.
A truly remarkable achievement, engineering-wise.
So, thinking about all this, for you listening, what part of this ZR1 blows your mind the most? Is it just the raw power, the crazy aero bits like the missing frunk, or is it how they're trying to blend that extreme track performance with some road manners?
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. We definitely suggest you look up some videos, especially to hear that engine, and dig into the ZTK package details, see all the aero components.
For sure.
Mm.
And maybe start guessing the price. It'll be fun to see who gets closest when they finally announce it.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe. When you have this kind of power, over 1,000 horsepower, becoming available in a, series production car, yeah, it'll be expensive, but not limited edition unobtainium. What does that mean for the whole supercar and hypercar world?
That's a great question. Where does the ceiling even go from here? Definitely something to chew on.
Indeed.
All right, well, that's our whip check on the incredible new Corvette ZR1. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please do hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of cars.
Thanks for tuning in.